Bonjour, I'm Iz, and today we're going to talk about cafes. So yeah, I think I've always liked hanging out in cafes. The first time I came to Australia was in the mid 80s, and I arrived and I went to have my first cafe, and there was no cafe. They were selling Nescafe in coffee shops. So that's how I switched to tea at the time because I couldn't bring myself to drink Nescafe. So yeah, so back to Paris. Cafes are a very important part of French people's lives. Yeah, why? Because you can just do many things in a cafe. You can read your book, you can look at people around you, and there are always interesting conversation. You can eavesdrop a bit, and or you can look at outside. It's always busy, and there is always something interesting to look at. Be careful when you order a cafe, because if you just say, I would like a cafe, you're going to get a short black. So if you want coffee with milk, make sure you ask for a petit crème, like a small coffee with milk, or un grand crème, which will be a big cafe with milk. Yeah, so what else? Memories of cafes for me was just maybe buying a new book and go and sit down and start it, roll a cigarette and sit there and start my new book, or after a fun day at the flea market with a girlfriend and it's all cold and you go inside a cafe and warm up, order a hot chocolate and reminisce about the day, so, and laugh, and it's all warm and cozy and lovely. There is a famous cafe in Paris called Café Flore. It opened in 1880, and yes, it's all beautiful, beautiful mirrors, red seating, and mahogany inside. Lots of famous painters like Picasso used to go there, and after the war, after the Second World War, Jean-Paul Sartre and Ernest Hemingway or Truman Capote, many famous writers, poets, painters used to spend their whole day there and talk amongst themselves. So yeah, that's exciting. I would have loved to live in the 60s and be part of that scene, maybe. Or okay, so that's my bit about cafes, and I think cafe is good for you. So I'll end with a little saying from Voltaire, who was a French writer. I think his doctor warned him about the effect. He was drinking around 40 cups of coffee per day, and his doctor told him that coffee was slowly poisoning him. He answered, it's a slow poison. It's been poisoning me for 70 years. So yeah, on that note, thank you for listening, and yes, au revoir et à bientôt.